Secret alliances that changed history. Did you know that the United States and Great Britain secretly planned to attack the Soviet Union right after World War II ended, even though they were allies against Hitler? This hidden plot, called Operation Unthinkable, shows how fast secret friendships can turn into secret dangers. It's a shocking fact, isn't it? It makes you wonder what other hidden deals shaped our world. History is full of powerful friendships and secret promises that changed everything. These were not always agreements signed in big halls. Sometimes, they were whispered words in dark rooms, or even coded messages passed between kings and spies. These secret alliances often decided who won wars, who lost land, and who ruled the future. Let's dive into some of these amazing stories. One very old and powerful secret alliance was between two very strong leaders, Octavian and Mark Antony. After the great Roman leader Julius Caesar was killed, Rome was in a mess. Many people wanted power. Octavian was Caesar's adopted son. Mark Antony was a brave general who worked with Caesar. They were rivals, but they knew they had to work together first to beat other powerful people. So, they formed a secret deal with a third general named Lepidus. This group was called the Second Triumvirate. As detailed in historical records from the Oxford Encyclopedia of Ancient Greece and Rome, they secretly promised to share power and hunt down Caesar's killers. This alliance was super important because it brought peace, even if it was a harsh peace, to Rome after a long time of fighting. It let them take control and become the most powerful men in Rome. Without this secret pact, Rome's story might have been very different. Another amazing secret alliance happened in a time of knights and castles. Imagine Europe in the 1500s. The powerful Holy Roman Empire, led by Charles V, was very strong. It wanted to control many lands. France, led by King Francis I, was scared of this growing power. So, France did something many people thought was very strange. It made a secret deal with the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire was a big Muslim kingdom in the East, seen as an enemy by most Christian European countries at that time. But King Francis I needed help to fight Charles V. This secret friendship, often called the Franco-Ottoman Alliance, was a huge shock to everyone. It was not just a small talk, it was a military pact. The Ottoman Navy even helped the French Navy attack cities controlled by Charles V. Think about that. Two very different worlds, usually enemies, secretly working together to fight a common foe. This alliance helped France stay strong and stop Charles V from becoming too powerful. It completely changed how wars were fought in Europe for many years, as explained in studies from the Journal of Ottoman Studies. It showed that even old enemies could become secret friends if it helped them win. Fast forward to the 20th century, a time of big wars. World War I was raging, a terrible fight that covered the whole world. Countries formed alliances openly, like the Allies and the Central Powers. But some secret deals were also being made, even within these alliances, or to change them. One of the most important secret agreements was the Sykes-Picot Agreement. This was a super-secret deal made in 1916 between Great Britain and France. They were both fighting against the Ottoman Empire. While they were fighting together, they secretly decided how they would split up the Ottoman Empire's lands in the Middle East once the war was over. They drew lines on a map, deciding who would get control of places like Syria, Iraq, and Palestine. This deal was made without asking the people who lived there. It was kept totally secret, even from some of their own allies. When this secret plan later became known, it caused a lot of anger and problems that still affect the Middle East today. This secret deal is often studied by political scientists, as highlighted in reports from the Council on Foreign Relations, as its impact was so massive and long-lasting. It's a clear example of how hidden plans can change the future of millions of people for generations. Let's also look at the very start of the Cold War. After World War II, the United States and the Soviet Union, who were allies against Hitler, quickly became enemies. The world was divided into two big camps. Both sides were very scared of each other. This led to many open alliances, like NATO for the West and the Warsaw Pact for the East. But beneath these big, public groups, there were many smaller, secret deals. One of these involved newly independent countries in Asia and Africa. Many of these countries didn't want to pick a side between the US and the Soviet Union. They wanted to be friends with everyone or no one. But both the US and the Soviets worked hard to secretly win them over. They offered secret aid, weapons, and money. Sometimes, they even helped secret groups within these countries. This quiet fight for influence was a huge part of the Cold War. For example, some historians argue that Soviet secret help for communist groups in newly independent nations, detailed in declassified archives from the Cold War era, greatly shaped the political landscape of Southeast Asia for decades. These hidden partnerships helped decide which new countries became friends with the West and which became friends with the East, shaping the global map for many years. Think about a time when America was very new. The American Revolution was a huge war for independence against Great Britain. The brave American colonists were fighting against a very strong British army. They needed help, and they needed it fast. France, who was a big rival of Great Britain, saw a chance to hurt its enemy. So, France secretly started helping the Americans. At first, this help was hidden. France sent money, weapons, and supplies, and pretended it wasn't really doing it. This secret help was super important for the Americans, as they were struggling. Eventually, France openly joined the war on America's side, signing a formal alliance. But the secret help that came before the open alliance was crucial. It gave the Americans a lifeline when they needed it most. This early, secret support, as noted in documents held by the National Archives and Records Administration, helped turn the tide of the war and made American independence possible. Without France's early, secret help, the United States might never have won its freedom. It's a powerful reminder that even the biggest changes can start with small, hidden actions. Another fascinating example of a secret alliance changing history happened during World War II. While many countries fought openly, there was a very brave secret alliance forming among people who wanted to fight back against the Nazis. These were resistance fighters in countries like France, Poland, and Norway. They were not official armies, but normal people who secretly worked together to fight the invaders. They blew up bridges, gathered information, and helped people escape. These different resistance groups, often from different countries, formed secret connections. They shared information, helped each other with supplies, and even worked together on big attacks. They were often helped by secret agents from countries like Great Britain and the United States, who would drop in by parachute. This vast, secret network of brave individuals and groups, documented in many historical accounts of World War II's secret operations, was like an invisible army fighting the Nazis from within. Their combined, secret efforts made a big difference in slowing down the enemy and helping the official armies win the war. They showed that even without uniforms or open declarations, people can form powerful bonds to fight for freedom. The world stage is like a giant chess game, and many of the most important moves are not seen by everyone. They are made in secret, behind closed doors, with whispers and hidden promises. These secret alliances, whether they were about dividing up land, fighting a common enemy, or simply surviving, have often been the real engines of history. They remind us that what we see on the surface is not always the whole story. From ancient Rome to the modern world, these hidden partnerships have shaped empires, decided wars, and drawn the lines on our maps. They show us that power is not just about big armies and loud speeches. It's also about quiet deals, trusted friends, and clever plans made in the shadows. The impact of these secret alliances can last for hundreds of years, making the world what it is today. They are forgotten events, not because they weren't important, but because they were never meant for the public eye. And that, in itself, is one of history's greatest secrets. The lessons from these hidden pacts tell us that we should always look deeper, beyond the headlines, to truly understand the forces that move our world.